everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Sunix, and with me today, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
That is right, Grump. That is you. So just some housekeeping before we get into the episode today. If you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment so we can juice that algorithm and get this show out to as many Islanders fans and soon-to-be Islanders fans as possible. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
Yeah, you know what? I've seen a couple of comments pop up, and I'm fired up.
You're fired up?
I hate being right about everything.
You're fired up, Grumpy?
I'm fired up, ready to go.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, we usually try and host this show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Why so late tonight, X?
I fell asleep. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even going to make up an excuse. I fell asleep. I was tired.
Okay.
Yep. Fell asleep. So that one's on me. We're here. We're doing the show. We're present just a little bit late, but we're getting it done.
Right.
Anyway. If you guys do enjoy the content over here, we have another show called the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. We host that show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoy the content over here, hop in on Sunday, check us out. You know, that's just kind of all sports, media, just a bunch of hodgepodge of stuff. We cover everything. Current events.
That's what I like to hear. Current events.
Yep, current events. Isn't that right, Grumpy? So we've had 3 games since our last episode, correct, Grumpy?
True. Very true. We had a victory over Anaheim.
That's right.
Anaheim's goaltender was piss poor bad.
Ours was very good.
Our goaltender's fantastic.
Yep.
Then we had a game against Tampa where we thoroughly dominated once again, but managed to squeak out a victory in overtime. And then Detroit, which you would think, boy, that's probably the easiest of the 3 games. And we wound up being dominated by Detroit.
It happens every week.
Losing. It
happens every week.
Yeah. The one thing about the Islanders, they're consistently inconsistent. But, you know, it's funny. A former member of the podcast posted a bunch of analytics.
Yes. Would you like me to pop those up now?
Well, we can do it. It's all right. I'll tell you what. There's a comment, right? I don't know if we want to jump on that right away. I hate to come out guns blazing, but what the hey, right, X?
That's fine. That's fine.
When people start challenging the grumpy old man, I keep the receipts. Do I not, X?
All right. You do keep receipts, I will say.
You
are petty like that, not me.
Now,
I'm not petty like that.
There's a comment here. Well, first of all, there's a couple other comments. Let's do a couple of comments first. Just roll a couple of comments, and I'll tell you when to stop the comments. How about that?
They're ones that I've starred, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Starred comments.
Cool. We'll just roll through some.
Yep. Good evening, Grumpy Old Man X. David, thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Stevie P says hello. Stevie P, we're going to be talking about to you in a second. Drew says, hello, everyone. I'm officially done with beginner Japanese. On to intermediate levels now. Let's freaking go. Congratulations, Drew. You know, the one
Hold on. I think this is it.
That's not it.
What about this one?
That's Rush. You're putting Rush. No. I don't know what you got going on.
I just hit all of them at the same time. Okay. It didn't obviously work.
Congratulations, Drew, on passing beginner Japanese.
Yes, congrats.
So you're done with that course, just like you're done with Islanders, the Islanders Never Say Die Fantasy Football League, where you got stomped and eliminated last week by none other than the grumpy old man. Woo!
God, he's the worst.
He's
literally the worst.
I'm playing Sun X in the championship round.
Don't worry, Drew. I shall avenge you. I shall avenge the fallen.
Yeah.
We cannot let the tyranny of Grumpy continue. We must take him out. We must take him out. Swift and quick, though, Grumpy. Swift and quick.
That's right. And next comment here, and then we'll jump into the show from our friend Stevie P saying, guess we're going to learn we were outplayed by every team this week. Well, you know what? Like I said, I made some bold statements last week how just the eyeball test would tell you that, you know, the Islanders didn't deserve any points in any of these games. And what do you know? The analytics backed me up, which I thought was, well, interesting. I always, you know what I say about X? Do you even know what I say about analytics?
You don't like them. I know that.
I don't like them. I don't believe in them unless they back up my point of view. So here we go.
Oh, so you're selective. Okay, that's good to know.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely selective. That's great.
My eyes are, what I see is just as good as what any analytic geek can slide into their little formula and produce some type of something. I don't need that. I don't need to figure, oh my gosh, what's that shot percentage? What's this? What's that? I can look and tell. I can watch a game and tell who the better team is, regardless of results. And what do you know? A former member of the show has managed to cull some of this data, showing the Islanders' percentage chance of winning these games. And let's just take a look and see how many points they actually got out of how many games they deserve to win. I think it's interesting.
So you do want, you want me to, just for clarification, you told me not to pull it up. Now you want me to pull it up.
I want you to pull them up one at a time.
Okay.
And through last night's game.
I'm going to pull up. There's multiple on here, so I'm just going to pull everything up.
Okay. You're going to have to make it bigger so people can see it.
Oh, my days. It doesn't get bigger.
Is that the earliest one? Is Florida?
Can you see? Yes. I could try and zoom it. God in heaven.
My goodness gracious. Okay.
It's not going to get any bigger. It's not going to get any bigger.
Okay.
I can just read them out. How about that?
Okay.
Deserve to win O-meter. It had the Islanders against Florida. Islanders had a 37.3% chance, whereas Florida had a 62.7% chance. This is off the time after 500 game simulations. It was showing, what their odds were to win. So clearly not in the favor of the Islanders to win that game. Then we had deserve to win O-meter between the Islanders and Tampa. It was 34.2% for the Islanders and then 65.8% for Tampa.
The Islanders did win that game.
Yep. And then deserve the win O-meter between Colorado Avalanche and the New York Islanders. Avalanche win O-meter was 50.9 compared to the Islanders, which was 49.1, which is dead even.
That's dead even.
Yep.
And I was being told, because I did not see that game, that, oh my God, they were so dominant over Colorado. They were great. Okay. But the analytics would tell you different.
And then this was another game against Tampa, which was 68.7, deserved to win O-meter for Tampa Bay, and then 31.3 for the Islanders.
Another win for the Islanders, by the way.
We also have some other ones up here, which we had.
That was yesterday's game. If you could go in order of the actual game.
Okay.
Would be better.
Anaheim, 41.4 win O-meter for Anaheim to 58.6. Islanders deserved to win that game.
And the Islanders won that game.
Yep. This is Vegas. Sorry, Vegas was before that one. But Vegas was 75.1 to 24.9. So, yeah, very, very
Islanders
very one-sided.
Were outplayed and did not deserve to win these games, but they managed to get. And here's the thing: you're going to need points. But as I mentioned last week, and we're talking about again today, even though the Islanders are amassing points, they're really not carrying play at all. They're being dominated by other teams.
Here's what I'll say: what I've noticed, they're taking advantage of the situations that are put in front of them against the better teams, whereas the better teams are not doing that. There have been chances that have been missed. Absolutely. In the Anaheim game, there was an open net. Guy missed it right in front, just flubbed the shot. Like, that's a chance you got to execute. To win those games, you have to execute, right? And that you always say that too. You got to execute. You got to be able to execute to win games. If you can't do it, you're not going to win.
Okay. What I'm saying is, when your chances of winning, when the games are actually being played, are like 30% and below, you're lucky to come away with points, let alone winning those games.
I'm not arguing that with you. Okay. I'm just saying to win games, you have to execute. I feel the Islanders have executed with the opportunities they've been given in these games against better competition. Because the other teams haven't.
Well, we'll discuss. Like I said, we'll discuss a couple of the last couple of games.
I'm just saying, you're telling me that Tampa deserved to win by 73.3%.
Absolutely deserved to win.
Tampa, but what I'm saying is they're not. So they're obviously not executing.
You're right. They hit 4 posts in that game.
That's my point.
And okay. Well, we'll talk about it. I'm just saying there's an awful lot of luck involved with these games.
Yeah, lucky bounces. Absolutely, there have been a lot of lucky bounces.
But that's my point. Not sustainable. And we'll talk about where the Islanders are in the standings. We're going to talk about other teams that are in the same basic position. And what do people really think about these other teams? And you're going to hear when I mention the teams, you can say, that team sucks. They're not going to make the playoffs. They blow. And you know what? They're virtually identical to the Islanders.
Okay, let's just get through these last couple here. So we had Tampa 73.3, Islanders 26.7, really bad.
Win for the Islanders.
Then we had Detroit was 81.4 for Detroit to 18.6 for the Islanders.
And that's a team that the Islanders had thumped twice this year.
Yeah, not good. I think those were all the games that we had. So.
And Ilya Sorokin was sensational.
Yes.
In every game that he played. David Rittich was really good as well when he was in there.
Even in the Detroit game, I watched the Detroit announcers, and they were saying like there were some shots where it's like Sorokin just made a beautiful save, like it was, just couldn't score.
They scored a goal off his face masking in, and a couple of upper 90 goals,
which he was shielded on both of those as well.
Yeah, like I said, he's sensational. Is he going to play like that with a goals against average of under 2 the rest of the year? Probably not. Or the Islanders going to be able to count on a defensive zone breakdown? And like I said, I'll discuss each game. I took some notes, X. It's what I used to do in the old days, take notes. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to that since maybe X could maybe get a little bit of education instead of his, they just didn't capitalize on opportunities. Maybe you learn.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're wrong. You're always wrong. So I don't know. Would you like me to tell you? I'm not going to talk about the Anaheim game. You watched the Anaheim game. Can you give us your expert analysis of the Anaheim game? I know I saw really poor goaltending from Anaheim in that game.
Yeah, I'll say, okay, the first goal that was scored, not the goalie's fault. Took a weird deflection off the boards right to Mitchell, who actually scored his first NHL career goal, defenseman. Congratulations to him. He had literally had an empty net and just put it in.
Now,
the same situation that Anaheim missed on the other end.
Well, I'm just going to tell you that the Islanders score a lot of goals like that. You would almost think that they deliberately shoot the puck off the backboards and have it come out the other side, but I don't think they're talented enough to do that.
Here's what I'm going to say, though. Put the puck on net or shoot the puck at the net. You never know what can happen.
Very true.
It takes weird bounces. You can clean it up in front. Then the second goal was Anders Lee deflection goal, which was really nice. That I'm not blaming the goalie on. I'm not blaming the goalie on a deflection goal.
When the goaltender is really now, I'm not saying the Anders Lee one, but on the first one, the goaltender is wildly out of position. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
okay, he was on the goaltender.
It took a weird bounce on the boards. I'll say that though. It took a lucky bounce.
Okay, that goaltender was terrible.
The other, I was going to say the other goal though. That's on him.
And you remember when I mentioned last week? I said the thing is, Anaheim can score. Yeah, they absolutely can score, but their defense is terrible. I've watched quite a few Anaheim games this year. Their defense is just bad, and you saw that in that Islander game. Their defense is just horrible, and the goaltender. They got Gestahl, who's their number one goalie, just came back this weekend, but the Islanders got the backup. And they took care of business. That's a game I think the Islanders deserve to win, honestly. And their goaltending really hurt them. David Rittich has been great in a backup role.
Phenomenal.
I remember in the preseason where why are you saving David Rittich? Varley's going to be back. And TJ said last year when he got here, he said, you'll never see Varley again. And we are never going to see Varley again. And when they signed David Rittich, I said, that tells you that Varley's not coming back. Because David Rittich is not an AHL goalie. He's an NHL goalie. He absolutely is. And, he was really good for Calgary a couple of years ago. And he's a solid backup. If he's your backup, you're in good shape goaltending wise. And the Islanders, their goaltending is, I mean, what, top 5 in the league? I would think goaltender wise. I mean, that might even be a little, maybe not even generous enough, honestly.
I'd say the goaltender pairing that we have is probably, I would say maybe even the best in the league.
Well, I'm gonna say it's top 5 anyway.
Okay.
I mean, they're good, they're damn good, and they're playing that well.
Yeah,
they're playing that way too. And the switch of goalie coaches
is
not
night and day.
It's not to be understated.
Yep.
It really isn't. Sorokin is back to Sorokin of the Vezina Trophy caliber seasons that he's had. And if he can play like that, and Matthew Schaefer, last night's game notwithstanding, can stay at a level that he's playing at, this team should make the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to do any damage, but they should make the playoffs but everything is so jumbled. You never know. You never know. They're going to have to tread a little bit of water till Bo Horvat comes back, right? I mean, that's just going to have to do that.
Yep.
He was on fire this year. That injury hurts them. And that's just kind of where we are at this stage. But I did have a couple of I did want to talk about the Tampa game because it's funky how things are, right? I mean, we watched that Tampa game and it's just funny how things just kind of spiral at a certain point, right? Like in the first period, Tampa was outplaying the Islanders positionally, territorially, and every other thing. And they called a really weak interference call on Braden Point in the offensive zone. I mean, it was really freaking weak. And so the Islanders get a power play and are doing really nothing on the power play. They take one attempt at the net. Guy hooks a guy going towards the net. The Islanders get a 2-man advantage. Okay? 5-on-3. Did the Islanders do anything? Not really. Not until number 48 made a nice deft move and worked a little give and go. He moved from the left side to the right side, back to the left side, makes a pass to Anthony Duclair, who gives a nice give and go back to Matthew Schaefer, makes it 1-0 Islanders.
Yep. After
that, the Islanders were dominated by the Bolts again, right? You saw a terrible turnover in the Islanders zone by Nick Paul, leads to a rush by Anthony Duclair, who I thought had a good game, by the way. At this time, they had 2 of their AHL defensemen. Number 24, his name is Crozier, and number 67 is Carlisle. And you saw that Crozier, he was late to pick up what Duclair was doing. I think he was surprised by his speed. He stumbles, okay, after he doesn't read that rush. And then as he seems like he gains his stride and he's able to keep him to the outside, but then Carlisle goes over and jumps in front of 24 and leaves the 2 guys on a 3-on-2 coming in. Crozier doesn't know what to do. He just kind of stands around. Nice pass, again, from Duclair to Callum Ritchie, and he pops a goal in, makes it 2-0 Islanders. I mean, on that play, it was a really good job, I thought, by Anthony Duclair to keep the pressure on Crozier with his skating ability. He didn't slow down. He's like, we're going to push. And you saw that the Tampa Bay defense got collapsed on creating that 3-on-2. One thing I noticed in this game, and I'm going to be all over the place a little bit, but Schaefer has the ability of stopping zone entries. It's a marvel to watch, honestly, how good he is at that, where you see guys coming in and he's just able to make plays and just stop them at the blue line. The Islanders this year have been one of the top teams of the league, not dumping and chasing, which has been their MO for the last number of years, but carrying the puck in the zone. Who are the guys who are most responsible for that? Matthew Schaefer and Matt Barzal.
Yep.
When you don't have to dump and chase, you're able to control action. And that's what you're seeing from Matthew Schaefer and from Matt Barzal. You're just seeing that. Getting back real quickly to the Tampa game, the whole second period was in the Islander zone. The whole second period. I believe they were outshot 17-1 at that particular time. And they had a number of posts. And then they finally Tampa gets a power play, and they missed 3 straight backdoor attempts at goal. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
You know what that sounds like?
Well, you know what? I don't
Not
know.
executing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't know if the passes were too fast. The puck was skipping at just the wrong time. Tampa usually buries those chances, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, they do.
Okay, it's weird. It's not anything the Islanders did. It's just maybe they didn't have a little bit of puck luck.
Little voodoo magic on the ice.
Right. And they, like I said, that's when they only had one man up. Then Scott Mayfield gets called with a trip, and they convert on the 5-on-3. Okay. All right. No big deal. One thing you're seeing, though, Ilya Sorokin totally in the zone, right? He makes high danger chances look like a walk in the park. There were 4 high danger chances on power play alone, that first power play opportunity. I mean, the period ended 2-1 Islanders, but if you're watching that game, it was total domination by Tampa. Absolute total domination. Like I said, shots on goal 17-1. Just thank you, Ilya Sorokin. Just tip a cap to him.
Yep.
Also during this game, Tampa Bay wound up playing with 5 defensemen if they had an injury to Lilleberg early in the second period. And it's funny because, they're already banged up. They're missing 3 of their top 6 starting defensemen. Victor Hedberg came back for a couple of games, and now he's out until, just before the Olympics. So Tampa's going to be hurting defensively for a while. The guy who's really picked up the slack for them has been Radich. He's been really, really good.
Yeah, he had a couple of nice shots in that game as well.
Yeah, he's been
a nice place.
He's been really good. You want to know? I thought probably maybe one of Sorokin's best saves of the night was against Jonathan Drouin when the Islanders were on the power play. He come back and he put a shot on net and was just spectacular save by Sorokin. I mean, the Islanders had a couple of excellent chances post the power play, but Janssen came up big. I thought Janssen was weak on one of the goals for the Islanders. But I think that was probably the best chances on the evening, honestly, because the whole game was all Tampa, really, all Tampa. You saw a beautiful individual play by Barzal that made Jake Gensel look silly, that Janssen made a nice save on. It's funny. The Tampa announcers mentioned, it's forwards are not used to skating backwards, and that's pretty obvious. I mean, Matt Barzal just walked right through him. I think Gensel even fell down. One thing I also mentioned that John Gabriel Pageau looks way better without a mustache. He's wearing a mustache this year, and he looks better without the mustache. Way better. People in the comments, let me know if you think that's true or not. I think it absolutely is. And last thing, the referees put the whistle away the last minute. There was a hook by number 90 against Matthew Schaefer. Radich had a forearm to the face of Matt Barzal for Tampa. And Scott Mayfield had a hook to the throat of Yanni Gourde. Tampa closed out the end of the third period with a hit post and two super saves by Sorokin in the last 30 seconds. And then you looked at the overtime, mostly nondescript. The biggest chances came for Tampa in the last 30 seconds. Gensel whiffed on a pass from Kucherov, wide open net. The Islanders on the day were outshot 34-7. And you had your shootout goals for the Islanders were by Matt Barzal and Emil, the Eel Henneman.
Yep.
The Islanders wound up winning 3-2, and they swept the season series against Tampa. And I'll tell you what, they were thoroughly dominated in every single game of that series. Thoroughly dominated. That's 6 points that it's like, nope, you didn't deserve any of those points. They count. I'm not complaining, but that was a game that really Tampa's going to look back and say, man, we let 1 point go down off the boards. That's what they're going to say. Now, did you get a chance to watch any of that Tampa game?
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get to watch the full thing, though.
Okay. After beating Tampa, the Islanders were in first place in the Eastern Conference. And you hear, oh, my God, the Islanders are in first place in the division, first place in the Eastern Conference. You know how long that lasted? about 45 minutes till Carolina finished their game. And then Carolina is right back in first place. Everyone knows Carolina is going to win division. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs. They need better goaltending. Who knows? Now, and then I said, well, you know what? Okay, Islanders rolling. They're looking better. You're seeing a little bit of separation because even though these other teams have games in hand on the Islanders, they're not winning those games. That's great news for the Islanders, right? And you're seeing a little bit of separation. Now, the glut of teams underneath the Islanders, man, they're still in that little suck zone area. But the Islanders have produced a little bit of separation before last night's loss. And I'm like, okay, the Islanders have come away with points they shouldn't have gotten. Detroit's a team that they've absolutely handled this year. This should be an easy win, right? Nope. It's crazy how the game. I mean, it's just crazy how the game winds up working. The Islanders scored the first goal after Detroit had a prime chance, and the puck just hops on the guy right at the blue line, and it seemed to the whole Wings defense just kind of felt discombobulated.
Yeah, they all shifted to the left. Now I'm talking about when Islanders going out, and then it just left him open.
It's like they were just they didn't know what to do, discombobulated, left a wide open shot for Henneman.
Yep.
And he actually mishit it. And that's really a shot that Gibson should have made, honestly. I think it was like a knuckle puck. It looked the way he went into the net. Neither here nor there. Islanders are up 1-0, right? I'm like, okay, great. But you saw it all last night. The Wings defense seems to fall apart in their own zone when teams rush at them. I think they just, for whatever reason, maybe they're too young. Maybe they get panicked when teams come at them hard. But whenever the Islanders had any success, it was always off the rush. They lose their shape and their coverage responsibilities. We saw that on the Scott Mayfield goal as well, which we'll talk about. The Islanders, like I said last night, for the most part, dominated by Detroit. I thought the first period was fairly close until I looked at some of the stats and it's like, oh my gosh. I said the Islanders weren't even as good as I gave them credit for. I mean, they were totally dominated by Detroit. I mean, it's not like the Wings had a whole lot of shots on net in the first, but the ones that they had were high danger chances that Sorokin just handled. And as I mentioned before, the goals that they did score on him, those are all high-quality goals, really high-quality goals. The second period, more of the same. Sorokin making huge saves, including on a breakaway. And not did he make the initial save, he was so quick and agile that the guy wound up missing the net because Sorokin was so quick coming across to meet him and get on that second shot. It was just fantastic. Now, that being said, there were some negatives, and our favorite player, the best player on the team, had maybe the worst game he's played as an Islander this year. I thought Matthew Schaefer was really not good last night. He turned the puck over, I think, 3 or 4 times that led directly to scoring chances. And it seemed like he didn't know where he should be on the ice. It's the first game that he's looked like a rookie all year long, was last night.
Do you think it has to do with him maybe getting tired?
No, I just think he had a bad game. I just think he had a bad
everybody.
Game. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to – when you see 40 games – I don't know how many games they played, 33 games where he's been dynamic, or let's say even 30, right?
34 games. 34 games played.
Let's say 30, he's been dynamic. 3, he's been okay. And last night was not a good game.
You'll take that any day.
Yeah. You're going to take that for a kid who's 18.
Yep.
And Mickey Redmond, who used to play for the Detroit Red Wings, he's now one of their color announced guys. He's old as hell. He's got to be in his 70s, upper 70s. Brought up the name Bobby Orr again. And he says, I'm not going to say he's Bobby Orr, but because there's no Bobby Orr. And then he just stopped. So the intimation was, man, this kid's close to being Bobby Orr. That's the second time he said that in the last 2 weeks. And you look, there's that little pivot he does at the point is special. is special, and his skating is sensational. That said, he had a terrible game last night. I thought the long range, the stretch passes that the Islanders tried yesterday, picked off left and right all night long. And maybe you give credit to the Detroit coaching staff, and you say, you know what, Todd McClellan's a good coach. I mean, I don't think his teams are ever going to win Stanley Cups, but he's a damn good coach. Maybe he said, okay, the other games we were getting beat on that stretch pass, and they were in all those spots all night long. So give kudos to Detroit. That's a game they deserve to win. And still, when Scott Mayfield scored on that goal in with, I think, 5 or 6 minutes ago, whatever it was, in the third period, where they just let him skate from the blue line into, below the dots, right in the center of the ice, and no one confronts him. Scott Mayfield of all people,
his first goal of the season too,
and they make it 2-2. I'm like, you watch these Islanders come back and win a game when they didn't even have to Zamboni the Detroit end of the ice the whole game. It was just such domination possessional wise. I mean, and then, as it was, Alex DeBrincat wound up scoring 2 goals yesterday, and I don't know who scored the game winner, but I mean, they lost the game that they didn't deserve to win, but they were in it till the end. And what you're seeing from the Islanders now, you're seeing that, they get a 1-goal lead and they're just packing everybody around the goalie, which reminds me a lot of the Barry Trotz era.
It was Axel Sandin Pelika.
That's him. Yes, that's him. Yeah, my boy, Axel Pelika. That's him.
Yep.
Nice goal by him. I mean, you can't say Detroit did not deserve to win.
Also, the Detroit goals were off of nice shots.
Yeah,
every single one of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't poor goaltending. They were just nice shots.
No, well, Sorokin's been great. I mean, he's been sensational to me. Right now, I think he is the leader in the league with saves above expected now over Logan Thompson.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and to think where he started the season at, right? He was struggling early in the season. Then we talked about him, and all of a sudden, boom, he's like, oh my gosh, if the guys on the Islanders never say die,
we're talking trash.
We're talking even not glowing about me.
I need to step my game up
because these guys are my biggest fans.
Right. You think he listens?
I think he does. I think he does.
Tunes in for sure.
And that's what that's what we saw the last couple games. I mean, I just thought it was interesting.
Yep.
Can we pull up the standings, please?
I will do that, but I do want to pull this up first, Grumpy. Yeah. There's been some news that has come out.
Oh.
I don't know if you can read that.
Oh, yes.
Do I need to make it bigger?
Arthur Staples says, the Islanders now, who get a quick week, get a quiet week, starting off in Detroit tomorrow. That's right. They had 2 days off. I mean, they had 2 days off and they get dominated by Detroit. It just makes no sense. Starting to hear more of, I think they're going to add chatter from people in other front offices. GMMD, I don't know what that stands for. Good Molly, Miss Dolly is wide not to jump at anything yet. I don't know what GMMD means.
Darsh, GM Matthew Darsh.
Oh, GM Matthew Darsh. Okay, well, you should have put a little. All right.
I think I should have put some. I didn't write this.
Oh, I thought Good Molly, Miss Dolly is a little bit better.
God.
Good Molly, Miss Dolly is wise not to jump at anything yet. And I doubt there's a major move on the horizon, but there are certainly
spots to improve,
like depth at either side of the defense core or a middle six winger. We want names. Okay, here's a few. Seattle forward Mason Marchmont. Oh, freaking Nicoletti, please stop. Nashville forward Michael Bunting. Detroit defenseman Eric Gustafson. He plays no defense. That doesn't help. All the pending UFAs. Wouldn't be a high cost, maybe a second at most for Marchment, and would fill spots with solid vets. Discuss. Okay.
Would you like to see what a former member of the show wrote?
Yes, I would be interested in what a former member of the show wrote. The Islanders should be selling Pajot and Lee this deadline in an attempt to maximize the clear window that they will have around Matthew Schaefer. Sellers are getting a great return this year. Tristan Jarry was waived last year. He was just moved for Stuart Skinner, Brent Kulak, and a second-round pick. Maximize your capital and build around this Hall of Fame caliber defenseman. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair statement. I think we've talked what's worst case scenario for the New York Islanders, and it's to play just well enough because I think that Darsh has a plan, or he had a plan. It's okay. We're going to do what we are, but we're going to build from internally. We're going to move veterans. We're going to be smart to add free agents. Maybe make deals in the offseason for a younger player who's like a Trevor Zegras, who's been great for Philadelphia this year in a deal that I thought the Islanders should have made, honestly. Yep. Those are the type of players you want to get. Guys that you can have grow with your franchise, with Matthew Schaefer. I think Zegras is 24 years old. These are the type of guys you want.
Yep.
You don't want guys who are 29, 30, 31. It doesn't matter if they come in.
You want them to build up through the farm team.
Well, or with smart acquisitions for younger players who've maybe played out their welcome for whatever reason, they're unhappy, like a Trevor Zegras. They could have had him. They absolutely could have had him this offseason. They didn't make a move on him. Philadelphia did. Philadelphia has reaped the benefits of Trevor Zegras. This is the best he's ever played this year. Now, he's in a contract year. You worry about that, but sometimes it's good having a guy on a contract year because he's out to prove something. That helps your team as the season goes on. I mean, I think that's what the model probably was for Matthew Darsh. But what you don't want to see is, oh, look at this. We've got a number of fluky wins back to back to back to back. We look like we could make the playoffs possibly. So let's push our chips into the middle and pick up some veteran for some ill-fated playoff push where we're going to get butt-fucked by the Carolina Hurricanes. Because, I mean, that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
Every year. Not going to beat Carolina. I don't care what you put out there. Not beating Carolina. Can't even get out of your own division. Not going to beat Washington when it really counts. I mean, this is what we're seeing. I mean, you look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, even though they're practically in a playoff spot, very, very close, right? Ninth. And what are they doing? They moved that horrible Tristan Jarry contract, an even worse player. They got Stuart Skinner, who's no great shakes, but they also get a draft pick, and they get Brent Kulak. These are guys who can help the team going forward. So Washington did the same thing a couple of years ago. They added Rasmus Sandin, defenseman from Toronto, but they moved a whole bunch of other guys to bring in draft capital. They turned that team around in 1 year. You can add and subtract at the same time, as long as the guys that you're adding are people who are going to contribute to your team for a number of years going forward. I have no problem with that. I don't want to see, hey, let's go after Eric Gustafson, who's in his mid-30s, or, whoever some of the other suspect B, C, and D were. They're just not good enough. And you always, always, always overpay for players in season. If you want to make moves, you do it in the off season. The prices are lower. There's a lot more options. You do it before free agency or at free agency, whatever you want to do. This way you can, okay, hey, all right, yeah, I know we have 3 first-round draft picks, but we can get a Trevor Zegras. I'm just throwing a name out there because he's not going to be available to the Islanders. He's a free agent at the end of the year. But someone like him who, you know what, he's not happy with the situation, you can maybe get him at 75 cents on the dollar. And he could be somebody, a younger guy who you can put into this new core that's being built and develop the team that way. I'd have no problem with that. I don't want to see them go the Lou Lamoriello scorched earth policy that didn't work. That's
correct. Right. Correct. And I did want to post this last thing up here. It says Matthew Schaefer scored yesterday and now has 9 goals, already tied for 4th most ever by an 18-year-old defenseman. He's on pace to beat Phil Housley's NHL record of 19. Hard to appreciate what he's doing at his age in real time.
And goaltenders are better now than they were. Not that goaltenders.
Absolutely, they are. Their play style is better.
Okay, that's right. The butterfly style
revolutionized the sport.
It's
like incorporating the composite sticks. That's right. It's like night and day.
Yes, very much.
They're way better than they used to be.
That's
the straight up and down approach did not work.
And Matthew Schaefer, every game he plays this year, he's going to be 18. Every single one. So if he has 20 goals this year, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility, could be. Maybe he gets there, maybe he doesn't. But if he gets 20 goals from the defenseman spot, he'll break that record this year. He absolutely will.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he will. I think he
look at the names. Phil Housley. Is Phil Housley a Hall of Famer? He might be. Bobby Orr.
That Orr guy's pretty good. I remember you referencing him. He's pretty good, right?
He's pretty good. Pretty good. Aaron Ekblad, is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. If they win a couple more cups, he will be.
He's okay. He's decent. He's decent.
Captain of the team, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Those guys tend to make the Hall of Fame. Rock solid on defense. He's not nowhere near as offensively gifted as Matthew Schaefer.
No.
He's probably, I'm not even going to say he's better all around. He's more physical than Matthew Schaefer. I will say that. Something else I noticed, the Islanders, you just don't touch Matthew Schaefer. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to get jumped.
Which is the way it should be. That is exactly how it should be. I agree. I agree.
Yes, without a doubt.
All right. You said that you wanted me to pull up the standings, correct?
Yeah, just pull up the standings real quick. We'll look at them real quick and just see where the other teams are at. Then we'll get to some. We're going to do the ad read and then get to some comments. I know we're not going to be on as long as we usually are, just because of the hour of the day. And I look at this, Detroit Red Wings. Do you think that Boston freaking Bruins?
Yeah, the Bruins, baby.
Is this up to date as of right now?
Yes, this is the current standings.
Okay.
I just punched it in, Grumpy.
Okay. When people look at the Detroit Red Wings, what do they say? Man, they suck.
They're not a good team, yeah.
They're not a good team. Well, their record is 19-13-3. Can you scroll down a little bit to the Metro Division? Islanders, 19-12-3. Oh, that's right, because Detroit lost tonight.
So that's current.
Tonight. That's right. But after last night, they had the same exact record as the Islanders. Now, Hurricanes are now 22-9-2. So they have 46 points. They're going to run away with the division. You look at Philadelphia. Everyone knows I have no love for Philadelphia. I hate them. The one team in all sports that I hate more than any other are the Philadelphia Flyers. And
You're a
that's all
closeted
sports.
Philadelphia fan, don't lie.
That's all sports. Philadelphia Flyers. They're only 1 point behind the Islanders with 2 games in hand. Would you say that, boy, they got a shot to make the playoffs? They're a good team. I think Rick Tocchet's a good coach. But do you think that the Philadelphia Flyers are a threat to make the playoffs? I don't think so. They only have, I believe, 7 or 8 regulation wins all year long. A team like that, and again, I say the same thing about the Islanders, I'm going to say about other teams as well. I don't care where they are in the standings. If you've only run 7 or 8 games in regulation out of your 17, you're not good enough to make the playoffs, and you won't make the playoffs because it's not sustainable to go to overtime every night and then, get a fluky bounce or a shootout win or whatever. You're just not going to see that the further on the season gets. So that's why I think they're a pretender. They're third in the Metro, right? All right. Hurricanes, forget it. You're playing for second place. I think everybody's playing for second. Washington Capitals, 40 points in 33 games, 1 point behind. You see how close these teams are?
Another thing, look at the goal differential. Out of the top 4, we're the least for goal differential, which means, yeah, as you said, we're playing for overtime.
And so are the Flyers, honestly.
Yeah.
So are the Flyers.
It's 7. Yeah, but I mean, then you got 18 and 18 for the, the Canes and the Caps.
I mean, look at Pittsburgh. They've lost 6 games in a row. 6 in a row. And they're only 4 points behind the Islanders with 2 games in hand. They've lost 6 games in a row.
They said, "Hold up, wait a minute. We need that number 1 overall pick. We gotta stick to the plan. We gotta stick to the plan."
X. Oh, So you're saying,
you know what? I just can't wait to have happen when it actually happens. I just can't wait. I'm just gonna tell everybody I told you so. That's all. You heard it here first. You heard it a year in advance.
You have been saying it for a year.
If I'm wrong, I'll put the mask back on.
And the Capitals have lost 3 games in a row. Teams go through the ups and downs. But here's the thing. You look at the Islanders, Flyers, Capitals, Penguins, and where are the Devils at? Scroll up a little bit. No, the other way.
Other way.
The Devils. I mean, they've 3-7. I mean, they still haven't recovered from Jack Hughes, his little knife juggling act.
Yep. Yeah. Frank the Tank injury.
Yeah. Now, I think the Rangers,
awful.
I don't think they're going to do anything.
Yep. Agreed.
Columbus.
No.
Again, their goaltending is just bad. Their defense is not great. It just isn't. It just isn't, right? So, but I mean, you're looking at these teams, then you go back to the Atlantic Division. Go back to the Atlantic Division, please. Is Detroit going to win division? No. Is Boston going to win division? No.
Absolutely possibility that Boston wins division. Yes.
Okay.
I selected them.
Tampa Bay, when they get their injured guys back, they're going to be right at the top.
Yep.
Florida Panthers, absolutely going to be right at the top. Look at them. 38 points in 33 games. They're just 3 points out of first place. And they were a week and a half ago, they were the next to worst team in the conference.
Do you think Toronto's sweating right now?
No.
You think they're still in good place?
I think they're fine. I think the guy who has to worry about his job the most, though, is Craig Berube. Now they're 6-2-2 over the last 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, I don't think you're going to see them fall off the planet. I think you're going to see them get better. At the end of the year, you're going to see the Lightning, Panthers, Maple Leafs at the top.
But I guess that's kind of what I'm saying, though. Do you feel that they're running out of time? And do you think that they can catch up?
Okay. Right now, they're 5 points out of the final playoff spot with a game in hand on the Lightning, right?
But you even said yourself Tampa Bay is going to pick it up.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think Boston's going to play as well as they have been. I don't think the Red Wings are either. I don't think much of the Red Wings.
I think Boston's going to absolutely make the playoffs. I told you this.
I know.
Before the season started.
I understand. You're asking me what I think, and I don't think Boston's good enough to make the playoffs. Certainly not first top 3 spots. I think you're going to the same first 3 going to be the same first 3 there were last year and the year before. Florida, Toronto, and the Lightning. I think that's what you're going to see.
We'll see.
And then, Montreal sputtered a little bit. I mean, Boston's played well. Swayman's been good. John Gibson has been good for Detroit. Won 6 in a row. But that doesn't mean, like I said, the teams are so close together that there's really no separation, particularly now in the Atlantic Division. You have 5 teams that are within 3 points. 5 teams within 3 points. Anything can happen. The Metro, same thing, but there's a little bit of separation. There's, Carolina. But then, you have the Islanders, Flyers, and Capitals probably feeling pretty good about themselves. If I'm looking right now, I would say Hurricanes, Capitals, Islanders are going to be your top 3, I would say. I think those will make the playoffs.
Yep, I agree with that.
And it'll all get fed to Carolina and get chewed up and spit out. That's what will happen. So there we go. Hex, I don't know if we wanted to jump into the ad read, and if you could just document.
Yeah, I'll shoot it down.
Time. Just let me know. Document the time here. We're going to say like 51:45. If you could put that time down. We have an ad from DraftKings Pick 6. Every yard, every sack, every interception, and every touchdown with Pick 6, DraftKings' newest game. Every snap can turn into a big-time payout. This isn't just watching the game. This is playing to win. Here's how it works. Pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. It's that simple. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just $5 entry on your first pick set. Like, I would say Patrick Mahomes is going to put up 0 passing yards this week. He can't put up less than that. Be interesting.
I think he's going to put up probably over under 30 button clicks at the house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Or the hospital bed.
There you go. You know the game. Now make it pay. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5. Again, $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick Six not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick Six credits that expire in 14 days. So you got to do it within 2 weeks. Use those credits. Terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer. And the next one we're going to put at 53.45, please, is just our regular DraftKings ad. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey. Experience them all at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Not a bad deal. Just make sure you pick something, that you say, okay, that's definitely going to pay off. And then get yourself extra $200 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. I get that wrong every time. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive the bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Only 7 days to cash in the bonus bets. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. So, please, if you are interested in gambling, consider DraftKings. We'd appreciate it.
Let's roll into some comments.
All right, let's hit the comments here. Freedom Fund Adventure says, heard a voice from the past last night. TJ took to the airwaves to talk Islanders on X and Twitter. He told me he was going to do that. Only got to be there for a few minutes as it was bedtime, plotting to regain control and oust Grumpy and X. Ooh. I know he wants to be back on the show. I know
he does. That he does.
Okay, here we go. Freedom Fund Adventure says, this Henneman is just fantastic. Tremendous shot, skating, back check, forecheck. Can we look at Emil Henneman's last 13 games?
Yes.
Had a goal last night, and he had a goal 12 games ago. He's got 2 points in 13 games playing on the first line. That's what he is. 2 points in 13 games. Let's extrapolate that over an 82-game schedule, X. How many points is that, you think? 15? 10, 15?
Not too many.
Not too many. How many times I got to tell you?
Not too many more.
Not too many more.
Here, I can pull up his stats for you right
here. Yeah, just it's, we're going to see a lot of zeros. So, you would think actually this is like a old binary code. If you pull up his game log, just going to see a lot of zeros. He's got 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points. And he scored 3 goals against Detroit. Unfortunately for him, they're done playing Detroit this year. So he's a goal a game guy against Detroit.
But we pull up his game stats.
Yeah, look at him. He had
not too good as of recent.
For the month of December, he has 1 point.
Yep.
That's impressive. Now let's go to November. What the heck? Just for shits and giggles. And let's see. Oh, well, like I said, Detroit, after that Detroit game, which they won 5-0, he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 games with no points. And he had a point against the dreaded Flyers. I mean, he's regressed to his norm. Because before then, he was on fire. He had a bunch of points and a bunch of goals and, a number of games. I mean, he started off, he was on fire.
Yep, he was. He was playing really well.
Now he's settled back to what he is, a fourth-line grinder. And
hopefully he can get some confidence from the recent goal and can turn it around.
People think that I'm ripping him. All I'm saying is He's not a first-line player. Don't delude yourself into thinking he is. He's just not. He is what he is. And it's okay. You need guys like that. He's young. He could play on this team an awful long time with just doing what he does, skating up and down the wing, being aggressive on the forecheck, and popping in the occasional goal. I'd have no problem with that. If you think that Emil Henneman is good enough to be a first-line player for the New York Islanders, I'm just going to say that you're mistaken. That's pretty nice when I say it like that, isn't it, X? Just say you're mistaken? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I can say you're just damn wrong, but no. Okay.
Oh, grumpy, dude.
Next comment, please.
Come on, uncalled for, grumpy.
Matthew DiBernardo says, boys, how are we? Doing pretty good, Matthew. How about you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Stevie P says, oh my gosh. Henneman has the best shot on the team. He does not. Horvat's a better goal scorer, but Henneman's shot is better. If his shot is better, he would be a better goal scorer than he has been. He's got an okay shot. His shot isn't as good as Horvat's. You want to know why? Horvat's able to put the puck in the net. You can say, whoa, geez, Ryan Pulock shoots a puck 1,000 miles an hour. You don't put it on target. Freedom Fun Adventure says, you got 8 days, you little bastard, to find your father a gift that he'll like. Wrap it and give it to him, just like you do.
I'm going to get him something. I don't know if he's going to like it, but I'm going to get him something.
Oh, boy. Something tells
I'm just going to get him something. Well, you know what? You can either decide to like it or you can decide not to like it.
Wow. I can decide to like it. I can decide to like it.
Yep.
It sounds like a TJ gift. Well, I know you really want this, but I'm going to get you something I think that you
Let me just say it's something that I've been talking to you about with you for a while.
And what's been my response to it every time you mentioned it?
Well, let's wait. Let's wait and see. Let's wait. Let's wait.
Let's wait and see. Okay.
Let's wait. That's what you always say. And then you know what? All you do is waiting. You're like a waiting room.
You buy me a car?
Yeah, Matchbox. That's about it.
Frank from Empire State says, hello, Grumparama and X-Man.
What's up? What's up?
SSE says, would be nice to make the playoffs, but keep the picks and the prospects. Yeah.
Correct.
Now, if I was going to move a prospect, because if you want to get a guy who's younger, who can build with a team who's already established, you're going to have to move a prospect or two. Would I move a first-round pick and Cole Eiserman and Kayshawn Aitchison to pick up a Tage Thompson, per se? I would do that. I absolutely would do that. Because not every prospect's going to pan out. They're prospects till they're not. That's what I always say. And Tage Thompson's an established player. Now, would Buffalo make that deal? I don't know. They just fired their GM. So you know these guys are going to be playing hard now. There's been no accountability in Buffalo for how many years. And Kakalainen was a good GM for Columbus, and he loved making trades. Maybe there's an opening for the Islanders there. I don't know. We'll find out. Next, please, Mr. X. Claire Hogel says, I was wondering why we call you Son X. Did Grumpy have 10 kids?
Grumpy, no. Do I have some siblings I don't know about?
You do not have any siblings that you know nothing about. Good question from Claire Hogel. No, I did not have 10 children. But he was Son X because remember the first show we made you wear a wrestler mask.
That's why I said if I'm wrong about the Pittsburgh getting the #1 pick in the draft next year, that I'll put the mask back on again.
I thought you looked good in the mask.
Yeah, that thing was irritating.
It was like based on a Speed Racer, the old Speed Racer cartoon, where Son X was, or the mysterious Racer X was actually Speed's brother.
Yep,
and he was always there helping out Speed when he needed to. So we put
played
the
by this is the guy from Lost, I think, in the newer movie.
Okay. All right. I'm talking about the cartoon. All right.
Oh, okay.
And
cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon from way back. The Japanese is what they used to call them back in the day. Those
Japanese, is that what you meant to say?
Japanese, they called it, I believe. That type of cartoon is what they called it. Stevie P says, I'm agreeing with you this. I'm agreeing maybe? I'm going to say he's agreeing with us. We were outplayed, and that's why I say it. But we got crucial points, and that's all that matters. I'm fine with that, unless it changes management's thoughts on what they want to do with the team. I don't mind if we get points and we squeak into a playoff spot. I just want to make sure that, yes, we're going to keep the ship going in the same direction, like the New England Patriots did this year. They're still in second place, second best record in football this year. Are they good enough to win a Super Bowl? No, they're not. And they're not going to. But the fact is they could have made moves at the trade deadline. Oh, my gosh, yeah, move it. You want to trade a second-round pick or a first-round pick to get this guy, make your team better? And they said, no, they have a plan. They know what their plan is. They're going to stick to the plan. The worst thing you can do is have a plan and then have a little bit of success that's not guided, that's not sustainable, and then say, well, we're going to just throw caution to the wind and jump in here and try to win a Stanley Cup. It's not going to happen. Just be smart. As long as we're smart, I'm fine with it. Just got to be smart. And if you're going to make a deal for somebody, not for some relic like a Kyle Palmieri, you got to move the trash, the older garbage off the team and bring in younger players who can grow with Matthew Schaefer, generational talent. Next, please, Mr. X. Robert Giannotti says, hello. Hello, Robert.
What's up? What's up?
Nice to hear from you. Thank you for joining and signing in. Freedom for Adventure says, reading more and seeing more images of Milan Arena, and I'm banning any Islander from playing in it. Ooh, I didn't realize he had that power. Roof might be on, but one wall isn't. Not letting guys have careers ruined while the Islanders are stuck paying. Well, Bill Daly has been adamant and said that if the arenas and these things are not up to snuff, they are not going to let the NHL players.
I think they even said if they're not regulation size, that nobody will be playing from the NHL.
Well, then you're not going to be playing. And that's honestly, that's bad. That's bad for the league. It's bad for hockey. It's bad for the Olympics. It's bad. And who's to fault? Who's to blame?
The Olympics.
The Olympic organizers are to blame.
Absolutely. They're 100% the ones to blame. You've known this for years, right? That you're going to do this. You've known this for years. How are you not done? I
mean, I think they give these Olympic sites out like 10 years in advance or something.
They do, because they've already announced, I know that's just on soccer. They announced where the 2030 World Cup is going to be played. So they know already in advance where it's going to be held. I guarantee it's the same exact thing for the Olympics. It's like, 4, 5, 6 years out. Yeah. It's like, how do you not start the, the building plans or anything? As soon as you know about that, you should start building the stuff.
I agree. SSE says, enjoying the season, but the team is not ready for prime time. Yeah, they're not. That's okay. Like I said, I'm enjoying Matthew Schaefer. Let's see if Callum Ritchie can. I mean, Callum Ritchie's been okay. Nothing special, but he's young yet.
I thought he's done well. I think he's done well.
He's been okay.
He's shown glimpses.
He's shown flashes.
Yes.
He's shown flashes.
Which I think is good.
Yeah. Would I rather him playing in the minors where he could hone his craft as opposed to being, a 12 to 13 minute guy in the NHL? Yes, I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want the young guys to develop. That's all. I just want the young guys so they can develop and be real performers for us for, the next decade or so. It's not about this year for me. Never has been. Stevie P says, maybe he should read my later comment before talking about my first point. No, we don't do that. It's no. NS Canada says Detroit and Tampa outplayed them bad, need more push in the next games. I think the Bo Horvat loss is huge for them. It really hurts offensively. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm glad that his injury looked really bad. They say it's only going to be a week or two. You can, it's not like he's going to miss 2 months. So that's good news for the Islanders.
Yep.
Frank from Empire State says, grumpy old man, I'm starting to wonder if you really are an Islander fan. LOL. I am a fan of long-term success, not, I don't need the sugar high, if you will.
You want to do what's going to get the team to win a cup, not just make the playoffs.
And be good for a long period of time.
You're not a fan of mediocrity.
I'm not. Or failure. Freedom Fund Venture says jersey sales shot up 63% year over year, with the 18-year-old leading the way as a top seller. Islanders ran out of 4s and 8s to make his jersey. Well, that's just a lack of planning on their part. You should have known after watching this kid in preseason, or as soon as he made the team and watched the first 5 games, saying, "Holy crap, get me more 4s and 8s."
Yeah.
How tough is it?
Just start stealing them off other players' jerseys.
That's right. JG Pajot jersey. Well, we're not gonna need your jersey. That's 2 4s right there. You're gonna get traded.
Oh my God.
Stevie P says Hope Darce gets a stupid trade of Sipelkoff and McLean for Peter. Okay, Peterson's going nowhere in Vancouver. Vancouver made they traded Quinn Hughes, got Marco Rossi, Zev Bayam. I forget the other kid's name. It was a 2023 first-round pick and a 2026 first. Usually the team that gets the better player wins that deal. Quinn Hughes scored a goal in his first game with the Wild. I just don't see them moving Pettersson, though. They decided to keep Pettersson over JT Miller last year. Pettersson's been pretty good for them this year. He's hurt now, but he's been pretty good for them this year. They're not moving him. Now, Sipelkoff could absolutely be on the move. Kyle McLean is one of, and I like Kyle McLean, but he's one of the boatload of fourth liners that we have in the organization.
I have to play this one. I have to put this one comment up. It's pretty funny.
Stevie P says, we're going to win a cup, and Grumpy would be like, well, the final went into double OT, so we didn't really earn it.
You know what Grumpy is? Grumpy is like Bill Belichick for the New England Patriots.
That's
you
right.
beat a team by 40 points. Yeah, we're just on to next week. No celebration around here. You win a Super Bowl. Yeah, but we're focused towards next year.
I could have went.
We're looking towards next year.
I could have went to high school and got Johnny freaking Foxborough to throw a pass that bad, Brady.
Oh my God. Just nothing. Win a Super Bowl. Yeah, we're looking towards next year. We
That's right.
don't care. That's in the past.
On to Cincinnati in the past. That, you know what? That's the way an organization should be.
I will say this. I do agree with you, but at the same point in time, as a fan, you should not be like that. You should.
I'm not like that as a fan. I'm not like that as a fan. Now
you do celebrate, but then you're like, okay, what's the team?
Yeah, not for long. Like maybe a week or two, and then it's like, okay, we got to get ready for the draft.
Here's how it is. Grumpy celebrates. He buys just about every article of gear that the team creates for the championship win in X sport. Buys every piece of gear that they make, wears it around, struts it around, flashes it to everybody, says, "Oh, look at this new item that just came in. Ooh, this one looks really, really good." And then in about a month,
I put it all away.
Yeah, he puts it all away,
and we're ready.
And then we'll wear it during the season.
Yep,
he'll bring it out during the season.
But that's what I do during the season. Yep. I have Good Luck shirts that I wear. Of course, I haven't had to wear them for the Islanders forever, but Good Luck T-shirts, Good Luck hats, absolutely. Freedom Fund Adventure says encouraging metrics like a 37% rise in broadcast viewership, a 7% increase in ticket sales, and a 58% boost in viewers aged 25 to 24. Thank you, Matthew Schaefer. It's the Matthew Schaefer effect. That's what it is. My brother is a slimy Flyers fan, lives in New York, but he's a Slime Bowl Flyers fan. And he said that all his friends just gush over Schaefer. And he's like, he's not, I don't know how good he is. I'm like, he's dynamic. These guys say
your response should just be better than any player on your team.
You can add all the players on the Flyers together, mold them into one player, and they're still not as good as one Matthew Schaefer.
They're a 10th.
Frank from Empire State says it sucks if we trade Sipelkoff on the low. He's definitely better than he's playing, but he can't be on a checking line. He's an offensive guy. The problem with Maxim Sipelkoff is he still takes dumb penalties in the offense zone. He's not that good a skater. He was last year's, sensational Russian. Well, this year's is Shabanov, right? Yes. Shabanov is okay in the zone, but he brings absolutely nothing to the table in the defense. If he's on the ice and you're hemmed in your zone, he ain't going to help you get out. And he's not good in the neutral zone either. I'm not saying he stinks, but he's got some warts to his game. Is he a true NHLer? I don't know. But the more he gets, more he's out there, the more his warts show. Anthony Duclair, to me, I've been not so high on Anthony Duclair, right? I think the last few games, more opportunities for him with Bo Horvat out. I know he's playing on one of the lower lines, but he's showing, you know what? I want to be part of the solution. I'd much rather have Anthony Duclair on a scoring line than Emil Henneman. That much I guarantee you that.
Somebody clip that.
Well, I would. Matthew Sklarov says, good evening, gents. Late again. Yes, Matthew.
I can't believe you'd say that about the quitter.
I always reserve the option to change my mind based on what I see. It's always, everything is based. I don't have a rock solid, I hate this guy for the rest of his life, except for Josh Bailey.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're like that, though.
Simon Holmstrom, right? Was real negative on him. He looked better last year, and he turned back into a pumpkin this year. So he is what he is. Josh Bailey 2.0.
And yes, Matthew took a little nap time, so a little late. Sorry.
David says, I'm not getting my 48 jersey for Christmas as per my wife. LOL. Sold out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sold out.
It's not good news, Grumpy.
If you hadn't noticed, TJ and Grumpy enjoyed being contrary for attention. Empire.
Shots
Frankie
fired.
G Sports says, Grumpy, would you trade Yzerman, Danny Nelson, Victor Hedman, and Aitchison for a star player? Victor Eklund, I'm sorry. For a star player, Tage Thompson. I think that if it's Buffalo, for instance, they're not going to want all those prospects. They're loaded with young players. They need some veteran presence. Now, if I had to give up Aitchison, a first, Danny Nelson has no value. Cole Yzerman could. He's having an underwhelming year at Boston. I think he's Boston College this year. But if it's Yzerman, Aitchison, and a first for Tage Thompson, I'd do that in a second. I don't think that Buffalo would, though. I think they'd want some veteran presence on that team. Maybe you move yourself a Ryan Pulock. I don't know. Oh, my gosh. Look at this comment. PAF says, Romanov should get the C. Yeah, contaminated.
Oh, my God. Well, I was going to say something else, but I think it's in poor taste.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things in poor taste.
I was going to say crippled right now because he's, he's out with his injury. Yeah.
Matthew Sklar says, Sorokin standing on his head. He's been sensational. All these points are Sorokin points. Every single one of them, honestly. Yep. Every single one.
Yep. He's been great.
And I want to say something to our friend Stevie P. I'm glad you're starting to objectively watch the games and see how the game is played, not just the points. Points are important. That's how you get measured. But how are you playing? And there's Stevie P again. Says Siplikov is not good on the rush, but on a team with a different play style, he can very easily be a third line and possibly a second line. He's a grinder type. He's not a difference maker. That's what I'll say. If you need to include him in a deal, it's not an impediment as far as I'm concerned. Frank from Empire State says, my daughter, I believe she's 12 or 14 years old, young girl. My daughter's a huge Schaefer fan and Barzal too. She's starting to watch games at college. Okay, well, she's older than 12 or 14. Unless she's a super genius, and maybe she is, Frank. I don't know.
Hey, there was a kid that I went to school with. He was like, I want to say 12 or 13 or something. He was in high school.
Wow. I mean, you were like 30 when you were in high school.
He was as the people from Boston area say, wicked smat.
Wicked smat.
He's wicked smat.
She's starting to watch games at college on my FUBU account. Barzell is her favorite.
Maddie B.
Maddie B.
It's got to be Shafe Daddy, though. Shafe Daddy will be the new favorite.
Yes. Stevie P says, but the luck goes both ways, Grump. You make it like we're the only team to get lucky bounces. We lost 2 major playoff games to Carolina in the playoffs by giving up 2 goals 2 different times within 20 seconds. Carolina just does that to teams. They're a freaking buzzsaw. Doesn't change the fact of the game. Well, it's true. At the end of the day, your record is what you say it is.
Yep. Hey, you're getting the points.
That's right. Frank from Empire State says, I dropped that seed last podcast. We should all go see a game at UBS. I know you're in Florida, though. No, we're in North Carolina, actually. But I think we are going to try to do something at some point in time. Absolutely want to do that.
Maybe even get the Goober to go with us.
Who's that?
You know who the Goober is?
DJ? Yeah, he would have to go. Sure.
The Goober.
And as Canada says, Detroit and Tampa outplayed us bad. Yeah, we already read that comment. You can post up there again because it proves my point, but we already read that one. Drew says, I think Grumpy will love this quote that's been spreading around Islanders Twitter. But Grumpy, would you agree that you don't trade a player like Emil Henneman? It depends on what the return is. I think anybody, with the exception of Matthew Schaefer and Ilya Sorokin, and I'm going to say Matt Barzal because I like him. Outside of those three guys, everybody is tradable for the right price. Would I trade Emil Henneman for a bag of pucks? Probably. But the Islanders would probably want the bag with the pucks to move him. But, I mean, if you're asking me if he's a stumbling block in a trade for a Elias Pettersson or a Tage Thompson, the answer is no. Right?
Yeah.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, Mick Vukota looks like Al Bundy. Once scored 3 goals in a single game now. His interview on Spit and Chicklets from 2 years ago was so insightful and funny. All Islanders fans must
watch.
Okay. That's good. Matthew Sklar said, great move bringing Rittich. Yep, we talked about that in the offseason. Yep. And as Canada says, hey, Grumpy, what do you want for Christmas? There's a lot of things I want for Christmas. You want to know what X wants for Christmas? He came over my house today to help me with a little something.
I want a members only card.
You want a members only card?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, X. I don't know. Wife Y. I don't know if she'd appreciate that, right?
Yeah, she would. She said, hey, smart. Don't spend money on groceries.
Okay. Well, X comes over and he brings his own bag now. You know, like at Aldi's, you know, you have to bring your own bags in.
Hey, I'm just trying to save the planet.
Okay. You're quite a guy. Thank you.
I actually helped you out today, Grumpy.
I need some Mountain Dew because I'm dragging. I need some.
And I ended up falling asleep anyway. So it obviously didn't work.
Because you crashed afterwards. That's the problem.
I did crash. But I helped you out today, Grumpy. I did you a solid.
You did help me out. You did.
Thank you. Hold on. Which one was the applause button?
I don't know.
Put the cheers up there.
Whatever you hit last time was not right.
Okay. No, I tried.
Next, please. Steve, I've heard enough. I'm going to fill in for Horvat till he's ready. Okay.
There we go. Goal production through the roof now.
Frank from Empire State says, we're missing Palmieri too. He was great with these young guys. He's no difference. He makes no difference on the team. None. They don't miss him. They do not miss him. They miss Horvat, though. CVP says, yep, dominated by the Bolts once, then twice, then 3 times, and we still beat their asses. Get swept. Okay. Okay. Now here, we're really going on. If somehow you get by Carolina, you think you could beat Florida or Tampa? The answer is no.
Schaefer will single-handedly carry.
And as Canada says, Grumpy, can I get you a Flyers jersey for Christmas?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, sometimes
it gets cold during the wintertime, right, Grumpy? You need something to start the fire in your house.
Sometimes if you run out of toilet paper, you know, you need something to wipe your butt with. A Flyers jersey sounds just appropriate, doesn't it?
Very true. Yeah.
I hate the Flyers. I really do. Matthew Sklar says, I was at the game Saturday, couldn't believe we won. It's hard to, honestly, it's shocking that we won. But you could see it. You could see it coming. Couple of fluky goals, and how many posts did they hit? And they just, it's like, man, and you knew when it went to shootout, Johansson sucks. He's terrible.
Okay, I'm going to put up 2 comments here. One, Drew says that X definitely has a sugar addiction. They're actually sugar-free, so there is no sugar in them at all. And then 2, the ringing that you are hearing, actually, Drew, is not on my end. It is on Grumpy's end because he has his phone next to him that he's getting notifications on.
I've had no rings at all here, X.
I can hear it chiming in the background. You're wrong.
I have it on silent. Everything's on silent.
I hear a bing, bing, bing. I hear it ringing.
Maybe it's your bing, 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 bing.
It's not.
Were you shaking your head? Bing, 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 bing.
It's your
little
phone.
Brain is rattling around up there.
It's your phone. You know what? I thought they cleaned your ears out.
Oh my god!
I thought they cleaned your ears out the last time you went to the doctor. You should be able to hear that.
Next.
Right? Oh, sorry. Whoops.
Matthew. Yes. Was at the game Saturday. Couldn't believe we won. Yes. Yep. Stevie BC says if we want to talk about lucky bounces, the Red Wings' 3rd goal was shot point blank at Pulak, and the puck bounces right back on his stick, and he scores. The luck goes both ways. The Islanders had got their asses kicked off the planet last night. If they had gotten any points out of that, it would have been stealing. They were dominated last night. How many posts did Detroit hit last night? How many shots did it go off the post, come into Sorokin's back leg, the puck just pops out to the side, and the guy can't put it in the net? Just the Islanders are right now, for a team that's not super talented, they're on a heater for certain. X, whenever he gets that smile on his face, means it must be a funny comment.
There's a couple of funny ones here. I'll just play them.
All right, just play him. Play him up, X. Jay Kiriako says the grumpy old man is the Archie Bunker of the show, and I'm the Mike Meathead Stivic of the show. Rest in peace, Rob Ryder. Yeah, that's a shame. Yep.
I mean,
the rest
in
that
peace,
really
Rob
was not that funny, X.
No, that was not the one that was laughing. I would just figured I'd play all three of these because they're really close to each other. But
yeah, but I just want to speak to the Rob Ryder thing. It's just, I mean, the way he died is just, man, getting shot in the head is bad, but man, getting your throat cut, oof.
Yeah.
That's some real anger stuff. That's how you know it's a family thing.
Well, it's definitely more personal doing that.
It is a shame. Freedom Fund Adventure says Sonex helped Grumpy twice in a week.
This is one that was laughing.
He's definitely angling for Christmas
gifts.
Yeah. He's already got one of our Christmas gifts.
And then this one here is good too.
Drew says, I'll just keep spamming the Twitter DMs until Grumpy turns his phone on silent. LOL. I don't get those.
You absolutely are. It keeps pinging next to you. How do you not hear that?
Dude, I'm sitting right here. I know what's happening. What's not. It's your phone.
My phone isn't connected to it. It's not my phone.
Okay, whatever.
Plus, my phone is always
my phone's not making any noise.
My
phone's not making any noise. I don't see anything. Nothing.
Yikes.
That's coming. Stevie P says, if we want to talk about lucky bounce, we already talked about that one, X.
Okay, sorry.
Come on, X. Trade Mayfield, please, says NS Canada. He's going to be tough to move. A lot of years left on his deal, 33 years old, bottom pairing guy. They don't bring a whole lot in. Brett Weiner says, Son X, what is the name of the Lone Ranger's nephew's horse? The Lone Ranger's nephew's horse. Also, what number did Pat LaFontaine wear?
16.
16 was a number. Good one. Do you know who the Lone Ranger's nephew? Well, I don't know who his nephew's horse was. Do you remember what the Lone Ranger's horse was?
The only thing I remember about the Lone Ranger was his friend was named Tonto, right?
Well, that was his Indian buddy, but
yeah.
No, he named it. Says, hi ho,
Silver
away.
Right.
Yes,
That's
very
right.
good.
As you said that, it clicked in the head.
There you go, X. Look at that.
Yeah.
He can be taught.
I'm smart.
Can't have Mayfield do something good without him doing something bad. Yeah, he made a couple bad passes, and I'll tell you what, he's been lucky. They haven't been calling a lot of penalties. He's interfering all the time and hooking. Stevie P says, Grumpy, you're right about the mustache. Yeah, it's a bad look for Pajot. I think Casey's mustache looks okay, but Pajot's, no, doesn't look good. Mr. X?
Sorry, I was reading other comments.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, looks like Mayfield hit the official twice with a puck smash Detroit and second in the groin. Immediately after the penalty called on Mayfield and Detroit won payback. Frank Empire State says, frickin' Mayfield, that POS takes a horrible penalty costing us the game or 1 point minimum. Yeah, he gets away with a lot of stuff. And I bet you there's nobody who's a bigger Scott Mayfield fan certainly on this podcast, and even the fans. Everyone knows I love Scott Mayfield, but he gets away with murder out there. I was happy he did score the goal. Yeah. Matthew Sklar says Horvat not there is hurting production on offense. Absolutely.
Yep.
What do you guys think of the Quinn Hughes trade as NS Canada? I think we already talked about that. If Minnesota doesn't sign him back, it's a loss for Minnesota. Rossi is going to find out that Brock Besser and whoever else is on that first line is not Kaprizov.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to find out. Zev Bayam, he was given the number one power play spot this year for Minnesota. He started off hot for a couple of games. but he's tiny, and he's not tiny, but he's smallish, and he has no defensive presence, and he wasn't producing on power play. And I could see why they moved him for Quinn Hughes, honestly. First round pick's the first round pick. Minnesota's got to sign him, though. That's imperative. Frank from Empire State says, not when you're missing Horvat, Palmieri, Romanov, Grumpy Old Man, you're not beating Detroit. They beat Tampa without those guys. And Vegas. Freedom Hunter Adventure says, listening to Grumpy grasp at straws to try to say Henneman didn't hit the puck, which is why Gibson didn't get it, is sad. That shot was not outstanding. As a retired goalie, you ain't stopping that shot. Did you see the puck? I watched it. That's why I watched the other team's feed. You get a different look at things. Drew said, Kayshawn Aitchison made Team Canada for the World Juniors. I'm interested to see how he plays.
Yep.
Victor Eklund's going to be playing for Sweden. Really wanted. And there we go.
Yeah,
Victor
also playing for Sweden.
He's the guy I'm really most interested in seeing.
Yes.
CP says, never said this, but I love that picture behind Grumpy. Such a nice blue color. That's an old picture, too.
It is a very old picture.
It's a very old picture. I love it, though.
Yeah.
Drew says, and Buffalo fired Kevin Adams and replaced him with Jarmo Kekalainen. That's the guy I wanted the Islanders to hire. Freedom from Adventure says, Grumpy, your eyes aren't what they used to be. You were an excellent reader, and towards the end, TJ was better at reading than you.
Wow.
You don't see well. Got to get those peepers checked. Drew says,
old.
Good morning. What did he say?
It says, good Molly Mother Ducker. Is
good Molly Mother Ducker. Good Molly Mother Ducker. Okay.
Or as it's known, GM Matthew Darsh.
There you go. That's a good one, X. You got that one.
I did get it.
It says, please don't try to add players we don't need. Exactly.
Correct.
For short term, it's just dumb. Drew says, I was just about to mention TJ's tweet. It went viral, and so many fans hated it.
They did.
Tim McCall says, send Pajot back to Ottawa. Why not? Frank from Empire State says, oh, my God, what was that BS I saw about getting Eberle back? Again, do you really want a 35-year-old winger whose best days are way behind him? Nick Leddy. What's he, 36, 37? Why do you want him back? He didn't play defense 6 years ago. Drew says, X, please check my comments out on that tweet.
Please check the comments out on that tweet, and I can pull them up here real quick.
Just pop up the next comment while you pull that up, Mr. X. Staple never had great sources, says Freedom Fun Adventure. Not an Islanders fan. Had to start podcasting about the Islanders since he was let go by the Athletic. Don't want the team to add, sell. Agree. Okay. The Ham Man said, F that. If they're still in this spot, you go for it. Okay, that guy's a dope. Chris Wassel says, this may sound crazy on the surface, but which deadline? The actual trade deadline or the Olympic break artificial deadline? Joe Horvat says they should sell Schaefer, actually, because
it's okay. This is absolutely a troll account.
They'll be able to get 3 Schaefers. Okay, next. New York says, it all depends on where they are in the standings. No, it doesn't. If they are where they are currently, you should know that both will not be traded. I can see a scenario where Pajot gets traded and Lee gets a 2 to 3 year offer to finish his career or not. Fuck him. He needs to be the first one gone. He can blow. Okay,
here's the thing. Why can't we do what every other organization does and let guys go to other teams and then bring them back on a one-day contract to have them retire as an Islander? Why don't we just do that? You know, that is an option. If the guy loves it here so much and wants to be recognized here so much, he'll sign that one-day contract and retire as an Islander. That's what players do if they really enjoy the place that they played at. You know, it would say so much about him if he doesn't want to sign back the one-day contract. Well, then I guess he really didn't enjoy playing here.
I thought the first comment was really dumb, and then I read this one. VM says, not happening if the Islanders are a solid playoff spot. Why not? Why not? To get your ass blasted by Carolina? Oh man, that's what I want to see. I want to see that again. Craig, the regular human bartender, we know him.
Yep.
Oh, I agree. We should not be signing 35-year-old or a 33-year-old. You got to wonder what selling them will do to the locker room. Regardless of the record, we're not in a Stanley Cup team.
Correct.
Sorokin has had to stand on his head. The
Correct.
future is priority, but this year has been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would, again, what does it do to the locker room? They're going to be gone anyway. By the time the Islanders are legit contenders, those guys are going to be in rocking chairs. Doesn't matter. Michael says, not a smart take. Shocking. Pajot is the exact piece most teams need the playoffs. Move his ass then. Sounds like you get a lot for him, right? A newsflash, the Islanders are a playoff team. You don't trade that player when you're currently clearly one of the top teams in the East. Are they really? Richie will be good, but he's not a replacement for the playoffs this season. It's not about this season, jackass Michael. Sorry. I'm glad I don't go on Twitter. People are so stupid. Let me tell you something. A lot of fans are so effing dumb. It scares me how stupid they are.
I guess here would be my reply to that. What benefit do you get? Do you get extra money? Do you get, extra draft picks? Do you get, an award for making the playoffs and getting absolutely destroyed in the first round? Do you win anything for doing that? Or do you just get to say, hey, we made the playoffs?
We get to say, hey, we're Carolina's bitch.
So then what's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point?
It's been it's like shampoo, Lou, wash, rinse, repeat. Same thing. Okay, let's get to some more comments, Mr. X.
Okay. I just figure we put some
we
of those.
We want to get to the comments. We want to read this.
We want to get to these. We want to get to these.
Mr. B says, saw Varley due to return next week. Any word? Send him to Edmonton at the trade deadline? Well, he's not going to Edmonton. He has control over where he goes. Why would you bring him back? David Rich has been better than he's ever going to be at this stage. He hasn't played, a year and a half? What's the sense? Frank from Empire State says, hit the thumbs up button. Yes, please hit the like button, hit thumbs up. Tim McCall says, if you could bring back any former Islander player, who would it be? Probably Mike Bossy because he's dead. So I'd want to bring him back so he'd be alive again. How about that, X?
Yeah, I think that's a good response.
The other guys are all still alive, so
yeah, that's a good response.
Tim McCall says, I don't think Darce is going to have the same mentality as Lamoriello. I hope not. We're going to find out. Like I said, for me, it's all about next offseason. This deadline and next offseason. That's why I make the right decision on it. Stevie P says, Michael is not recovering from that one. I don't even know what I said to him, but I know it wasn't nice.
You called him a jackass.
It's true. It's just stupid.
Oh, my God.
It's so short-sighted. It's like, well, you know what? We could cross the street here and get hit, or we could go down to the light and cross at the light and make sure, it'll be safer and we can be a better team going forward. Let's cross right here because, and get splat like Frogger. That's what it's like. Michael's like Frogger. Get his ass run over. Oh my God. Not literally, figuratively. Next, please.
Okay, you already read that one. Sorry.
Yes. Drew says, on a serious note, outside of Shesterkin and Adam Fox, the Rangers need to put everyone on the trading block. I think you're going to see them sell.
Yep.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, Uncle Cheapo, you need to buy baby Liza a gift this year, too. She's old enough to realize when you're stiffer now. Don't forget your buddy Freedom, too. Talking to you, X.
No, I know.
No response from X. Stevie P says, we're going to smoke Carolina in the products if we go against
playoffs. Them. If we verse them, a boy can dream.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Son X, where are you from?
From Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's right.
Yep.
Stevie P says, there's nothing more I love than someone bashing Patty Mahomes.
Well, you should absolutely come and listen to the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast because it happens quite often over there.
Is there really an overrated quarterback than Patrick Mahomes?
Shedeur Sanders is up there.
Yeah, he is too.
He's up there.
I don't even consider him a football player, though.
Yeah.
And it's Canada says, favorite Christmas movie, X? What are you going to go with favorite Christmas movie? I have an idea what I think you're going to say. If you say it, I'll say if I'm right or
not. If I say it, you'll tell me if I'm right or not.
I'll tell you if I was right.
Okay. I was gonna say Elf, probably.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Four Christmases.
Four Christmases is really good. I really enjoy Four Christmases too, but I like Elf as well.
To me, there's too many to mention. I don't have necessarily a favorite. Yeah. I like A Christmas Carol. I like the Scrooge version, or A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. I like the animated version that Disney put out with James Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
I thought
Grumpy.
Dude. And then but I like The Gathering, which was old TV movie. Any Christmas movie should be enough to.
Did you watch The Holdovers?
Yeah, I saw The Holdovers.
Did you like it or no?
Yeah, it was okay. Sure, okay. But a good Christmas movie should actually move your emotions a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really, really good ones out there. I mean, like The Grinch,
not new
the live action Grinch, with Jim Carrey.
No, not that good. James Carrey.
James Carrey. That's right.
Hey,
brother.
What can I say? I elevate him more than
he's one of the 10. He's one of the 10 children that Grumpy wasn't telling us about.
Drew says, Grumpy, you should go to the UBS Arena and camp out at Henneman Lounge. Actually, I thought it was Heineken Lounge. JP says, hey, fellas, it's been a week here, Long Island. Influenza A is going through my son's school like a wildfire, which, of course, means he has the damn flu. Thank you for keeping me sane with the hockey talk. Well, hopefully you don't get the flu.
Correct. Never fun.
Do, just got to tough it up, man.
Never fun. Had it before. Would not wish that upon anyone.
Timmy McCall says, send Pajot back to Ottawa. Yes.
Yep.
Henneman, NS Canada said, Henneman started off well, but cooled down. Yeah, because he is what he is. Frank from Empire State, Henneman won 2 freaking games in a row in a shootout. You're a fool for your Henneman take. He blows. He's a fourth liner. He is what he is. It's all right. Tim McCall says, if you think you wish you could take back the Dobson trade, you've got another thing coming. Get out of the rock. NS Canada says, no Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl.
Thank you. Thank you.
NS Canada misses Horvat.
I miss Horvat, yeah.
Timmy McCall says, let's get Everly back on the team. No. Freedom Fundamental says, Grumpy, you're a point groupie. Our point is he is an excellent acquisition and the type of player you win in the playoffs with. You go to war with Henneman, you bend over and take it with guys like Dobson.
Whoa!
All I said was Emil Henneman's a fourth liner. All he said is a fourth liner. That's all I said. I've never really ripped him. I just said he's a fourth liner. If you think, so many people think, again, a lot of fanboys think he's a first line player. He's not. He's not. Hey, X-Man, are you from the Long Island area? Nope.
I am not. No. I'm not.
From the North Carolina area.
Yep. I'm what they call a purple unicorn.
Tim McCall says, Grumpy probably wanted the Dobson trade taken back. No, I wanted to get somebody else. I wanted David Reinbacher, the right-handed defenseman who's young, because we have not one right-handed defenseman in our system. Not one. That's the guy I wanted. We have plenty of Emil Henneman types on the team. It's not to say Emil Henneman sucks. It's just he's a third, fourth line guy. That's what he is. He's been traded, 4 times in the last 5 years? I mean, that's a lot of time.
There's a reason for it, yeah.
And that's not because he sucks. He's a guy who skates up and down the wing. He's got decent enough skating. He's got a pretty good shot. That's fine. But it's where scoring chances go to die. If he's got a wide open shot, he can shoot it. But it's like, he's the kid from, he's Fulton from the Mighty Ducks. That's who he is, X.
Yeah.
I could put it on the net 1 out of 6 times, coach. Go for it. Drew says, the Islanders Never Say Die podcast, Kakalainen just got hired by Buffalo to be their GM. Yeah, a smart move by Buffalo. We knew that was going to happen. I knew Adams was gone. I even talked about it in the offseason. I'm like, as soon as they also brought in one of the Stahl boys to be like an assistant, Eric Stahl, maybe. I don't know which one. And I said, well, there's your replacement because Adams not going to make it out of the year. And he didn't. And as Canada says, Schaefer makes Pulock look better without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It makes everybody look better.
Like Dobson made Romanoff look better.
He makes everyone look better. Let's be honest.
As soon as Dobson left, Romanoff was statistically the worst player in the league. Make sure the worst player in the league. Freedom Fighter Ranch says, I wonder if Richie goes to Bridgeport during the Olympics. Will the AHL still be playing? I think they'll still be playing, and I would say he should play in down there. Yes. Yeah. Frank says, thank God Horvat is day-to-day. He's going to miss a couple weeks.
At least not long-term injury, though.
Yeah, it's not season ending. That's for certain. Thomas Antonetti says, good evening, gentlemen. Merry Christmas in advance as well. All the best in the upcoming year as well. Thank you very much, Thomas. And yes, we are going to be doing a show next week. So we'll do all our Christmas wishes next week. So please listen. Drew says, I clipped it, X. Clip something.
Yeah, that was the thing about you saying talk about Anthony Duclair. So the next time you rag on him for being a quitter or being, awful, I'll just say roll it.
Well, if he goes back to being an awful quitter, I'll call him that then too. Yeah.
God.
Frank from Empire State says we got to bring up George. He's ready to make the next step. He sees all the competition coming. I want him to succeed. He's another left shot defenseman, and he still hasn't shown that he can handle the physicality in the NHL. He can move the puck, though. Drew says Grumpy's brain just glitched for a second. Geek, geek, geek. Just for a second. Frank from Empire State says, LOL, Grumpy said X-Man was 30 in high school. Yes, you just did a blow-by on that, X. When
I didn't even realize you said that.
The 12-year-old who was in high school, I said, yeah, you were 30 in high school.
Oh, my God, I didn't even hear that. I didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Freedom says, Grumpy, Tage Thompson is 28, and you want to give up all those top prospects? Not on my watch. Okay. Where's Keishon Aitchison? He's a left shot defenseman. You have Romanoff here for 8 years. We'll have him 7 more after this. You have Schaefer is your number 1 defenseman. So you're going to have Keishon Aitchison as a bottom pairing left shot defenseman. I don't know. I think that means he's movable. And then
I don't know. I kind of agree. I don't like moving the young guys. Well, I don't like moving the young guys. I want to see how they develop before you move them.
You have to give to get.
I get that, but at the same point in time, you don't want to give everything.
But here's the thing. If you're moving a Pajot and a Lee at the deadline, picking up a first and maybe a couple of seconds, you just replace those guys. I'm not moving Victor Eklund. I'm not looking to move him because what do we need more than anything?
Offense.
We need some forwards who can put the puck in the net.
Yep.
We have a lot of left shot defensemen in our pipeline. If it's a right shot defenseman, I'm hesitant. But left shot,
they can transform.
We have Isaiah George as a left shot defenseman. The Polkinen is a left shot defenseman. We have a lot of left shot defensemen.
Yep.
Dan Miller says whether Horvat is there or not, the offense has been relatively mid, to be honest. Yeah, that's what the Islanders are. I mean, their offense has been better this year because they've changed their style of play. And kudos to Patrick Law for that. They want to attack. He sees what he has in Matt Barzal and Matthew Schaefer. Well, guess what? We're going to rush the puck into the zone. It creates chaos in the defensive zone. We score a lot of goals like that. It's been a positive thing. It leaves us hanging out, leaving our goalie hung out to dry a little bit on the defensive end. But he's been so good that we've been getting away with it. It's not sustainable, of course, but it's certainly more fun to watch, right? And as Canada says, if the Islanders got a point last night, they could be charged for robbery. Yeah, terrible. Don't smoke crack. Agree, people. Do not smoke crack. 3 things you can count on: death, taxes, and Scotty taking a late game penalty. Oof. Well, he's always out there in those situations, and he takes a lot of liberties with the opponent. A lot of times he does not get called on that stuff, though. In the Tampa game, he didn't get called he gave Gord, he really hooked him right around the throat and dragged him down. It's like, man, you got to call that one. But the refs put the whistle away, and they set that with a couple of penalties to the Islanders that Tampa Bay could have taken on infractions on the Islanders as well. So you cannot complain about that. Frank from Empire State says, they never called me meatball and treated me like a god after that.
I don't know what that was.
Me neither.
Sorry.
And Canada says, Grumpy, how much of an extension should they give Schaefer? The max. And for dollar amount, I don't know, $14 million a year.
Whatever to keep him there.
Yeah, you don't want to let him go.
Yep.
Don't play it cheap with him.
Nope.
Freedom Fundamental says, I agree with TJ. I hate how desperate some fans are. They live for the next 5 seconds. I worry when TJ's the smartest guy on the internet. It's true. So many. That's the fanboy mentality, though. Don't think like a fanboy. Think like a GM. Think big picture. Frank from Empire State said Romanoff would have been great too because the more grumpy badmouth players, the better they do. Last year with Holmstrom. Keep it up, grumpy old man. Well, I was badmouthing Romanoff, and he was the worst player in the league.
Maybe it only works a certain percentage of the time, Grumpy.
Yeah. Stevie P says Patrick Waugh is the definition of the greatest coach in the NHL. No, not even close. Frank from Empire State says Holmstrom should give grumpy old man like 100 G's since he basically willed them to be good by reverse jinxing him. And then he turned back into a pumpkin. He was good. And I gave credit to him last year. Patrick Waugh benched him, healthy scratched him, told him the things he needed to do, and he worked on him. He did it. And I think he got screwed this year. But now he's, maybe he's just not mentally strong enough because he hasn't fought back from that. And he just kind of settled into being what he is now, which is the third liner, which is what he's always been. I mean, it's a shame because last year I thought he absolutely earned his opportunities on the island to move up in the lineup. He went along, he made plays along the boards. He was much, much better on the forecheck. He was less Swedish than he had been in the past. And then this year, I thought he started off okay. But Patrick Waugh doesn't like him. I don't know if he just doesn't like Swedish players, period, because he had the same problem with Engvall. Engvall did the same thing where he got benched by Waugh, and he said, you need to do this, you need to do that. And he did. He went out. He was not Pierre Engvall-like. He was going into battles in the corners. And you get points for that, for trying to change your game to please the coach. And, he got the injuries out for the year. And I think Patrick Waugh went, whoosh. Okay. Is that it, X?
Yep. I think we've come to the end of the show. Grumpy, anything you would like to say before we hop off?
I want to say we start the college football playoffs this weekend. Friday, Oklahoma, Alabama.
Big game.
I know X and I will be rooting for Oklahoma for certain. We'll be talking about that Sunday evening. We'll be talking about the NFL playoffs are pretty much, at this point, a fait accompli. I think you can already say who the playoff teams are going to be with 3 weeks to go for the most part.
Yep.
Maybe one or two spots, but really nothing like in the past. And then, we'll be watching the Islanders. We have, I believe, tomorrow we have who's tomorrow for the Islanders? I know Saturday is Buffalo. I think tomorrow's a team we should handle as well.
We got, give me 1 second. We have the Canucks.
The Canucks. That's a team we can beat.
That's on Friday.
Okay, Friday. So it's a Friday, Saturday then? Is that what it is?
Friday, Saturday,
okay.
Correct. And then we play Buffalo on Saturday.
And should really beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Buffalo's like, hey, new GM, we're trying to, impress somebody so we get to stay here in nice, cozy Buffalo. Who knows? But those should be 2 wins, right? Let's be honest. Yeah. Those should be 2 wins.
But how we've been playing as of recent, those are games we're probably going to end up losing.
Well, no, I think
games we should win, we lose.
If we split, what are you going to do? We split.
Yeah.
But also, I'd like to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from Son X and the Grumpy Old Man.
Yep, and last comment here, Grumpy.
Frank says, great show. Hit the thumbs up, please do.
We hit the thumbs up. Yep, and I just want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, love the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys
next time.
Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.